So the movie Sinners. How many, by show of hands, have seen the movie Sinners? Now, I've seen it twice. Twice. I've seen it twice. I saw it opening weekend, regular theaters, and then I saw it last weekend, this past Saturday, in IMAX. And let me tell you something. In IMAX, because I think it's about to be snatched out of IMAX theaters now. And I think it's supposed to return later, but in IMAX, one of the best movie experiences I've ever had. One of the best movie experiences I've ever had. Sinners is a classic, will be a classic movie. It's one of the best movies I've seen in recent memory. The storyline, the emotional connection to the ancestors, how things were back then, the spirituality of it. Oh my god. Like it's not just a vampire movie. I didn't do my full review on here, but let me tell you something, man. From start to finish, especially when you see it the second time, that movie is just big, especially showcasing foundational Black Americans, our lineage into this country, and the storyline is just so compelling, man. I damn sure want to see it a third time, to be honest. Like, I'm ready for it to come to streaming platforms. It was that good. Um, like I said before, I gave it a 9 out of 10 because of Michael B. Jordan's accent, but I didn't got adjusted to it, y'all. That movie is a 10 out of 10 from start to finish. And if you can, by the time you see this video, please, please, please do yourself a favor. Go see this in IMAX if you can. All right. But the reason I'm talking about it is because I want to know, this movie was so good for all my moviegoers who went to go see this movie. Do you think that this movie should have a prequel or a sequel? Now, the reason I'm asking that is because I've heard that Ryan Coogler said that he didn't have any intentions on doing a sequel. He wanted this just to be his own movie. While that's fine, if he does this I feel like Will is a classic. It will be considered a classic, and you don't want to mess nothing up. That's fine. It'll be that. But there are different storylines that can go into this. Me personally, I want to see a prequel, but what I want to show y'all is shout out to Rico Bumpers. Shout out to Rico Bumpers. Rico's one of my homeboys, man, from Mobile, back at LaFleur High School. And I want to show y'all what he said, like a couple of ideas. This is what I said originally. I said, I think I would like to see a prequel to Sinners, seeing Smoke and Stack leaving the South, being in Chicago or something, because they hustled in Chicago. They got over on mobsters and different people like that, came back to Mississippi with a bag and opened the juke joint, right? So this is what Rico said. Shout out to Rico Bumpers. He came up with 4 things that could happen as far as different stories. Okay. He says, number 1, Smoke and Stack in Mississippi gaining their reputation before leaving. That's what I really want to see. Number 2, he says Smoke and Stack in Chicago and the aftermath robbing the Italians and Irish, right? I want to see that too. Number 3, Stack and Mary's adventures for the 60 years between that night and the post-credit scene. So you remember, and this is spoiler alert, at the end when Stack and Mary, because Stack got bitten, like Stack became a vampire and Mary was already a vampire. So afterwards, they when Stack and Smoke were fighting, the reason that Smoke spared his life, he spared his life and said, you can't harm what's the guitar player? I'm gonna just say guitar player. I can't think of his name right now, but you can't harm him. Excuse me, you can't harm him. And he kept his word. So between those 60 years, what happened? Or afterwards, what did y'all do after that? We would love to see that storyline. Then also Remick's other attempts before Sammy, that's his name. That's the guitar player's name, Sammy. Remick's other attempts before Sammy. The natives had him at the beginning. Did he try Africa too? All right, so I'm more pro for number 2, Smoke and Stack in Chicago and the aftermath robbing the Italians and Irish. That's what I really, really want to see. So it's different ways you can go with this, and all the characters are very interesting. So shout out to Rico Bumpers for sharing that with us. But a sequel would be, what happened, in the future and happen after that. But I think that like you could do spin-off series, you could do a TV series with this storyline, for this to be original, for this to be an IP. where Ryan Coogler came up with this, he could have his own little cinematic universe with this if he wants to. But if he doesn't want to touch this prestigious type of movie and doesn't want to mess anything up, I understand it. But I would really, really love to see. Wouldn't you like to see how Smoke and Stack were in Chicago, like on some action stuff? You know what I'm saying? Because they were very militant. They were shooting, you know what I'm saying, knew how to handle knives and all this other stuff. I want to know, how do they get off on those mobsters and the Italian mafia? What did they do in Chicago? I would love to see a movie dedicated to that. Or just in general, the events that led up, all the events that led up to this movie, all the events in the storyline. I would love to see that. Um, you know, because Smoke, in the scene where he was with the lady, I forgot her name, his love interest, and their baby wasn't able to be born. That was going on, and she had her heart heavy and did like some not voodoo, what do you call that? I forgot. Some stuff to make sure that he was safe, you know what I'm saying, while he was in Chicago. But I would have loved to know about cornbread. Man, it's just so many ways he can go, man. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Would you like to see a prequel or a sequel? I would just love to see Smoke and Stack get it in. And since Ryan Coogler did phenomenal, but Michael B. Jordan, those two different characters that he played felt so real. They should consider having him have his own movie with just Smoke and Stack, and maybe tap into the other characters. But I would love to see Smoke and Stack, the twins, again. I would love to see them, man, because you could tell they were different people. One was red, one was blue. I'm quite sure they had some blood and Crip references and stuff like that. But I would love to see Smoke and Stack's come up, you know. And if Smoke and Stack had, and you could just call it Smoke and Stack, I'm just thinking creatively, their come up in Mississippi, them leaving Mississippi, going to Chicago, and then all the events leading up to Sinners. You ain't even got to have vampires. Or we could see, how did everybody, how did those white folks become vampires? It's just so many different ways. But phenomenal movie. Please go see it at IMAX and do yourself a favor. But y'all let me know in the comments, what do you think about it? I love the movie. I might go see it a third time. I'm going to see Thunderbolts this weekend, but Sinners is one of those movies you want to own. Like, I'm talking, I want to buy a Blu-ray to that or something. So anyway, man, let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. Subscribe to the channel, which is youtube.com/ResView. It's going across your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me on Instagram at JAYR3D. And also make sure that you follow me on TikTok at the real JAYR3D. That's been my time. I'll catch you on the next episode of ResView. Again, hit that like button or the dislike button. Is all good as long as we get some traction. But it was great talking with you all, and I'll see you on the next episode of ResView. Peace.